All right, so I don't even know that I have anything new to say. It just, I feel like it is so much like this Groundhog Day. I just can't even get over this. How it just seems like day after day after day. And today is super high anxiety to me again. Like, I feel like I just need to go. I just need to go. I need to get out of here. I just need to go someplace. Like, I feel like I wish I could just sell my house overnight and just take off and go someplace. I just saw this video and it looked like, people out camping, a whole huge group of people out camping, a ton of families. And it said, welcome to the new rich, where we don't have debt, we're free, and all we have is time, or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Just go out and find these groups of people who get it. Like, this is not worth it. This is a trap. This is a way to drain you of your energy, to keep you in this freaking system. And the people who are waking up to see like where freedom is, and I want to get this place ready to rent out to travelers, but just the way it just drags on and on and on and on and on. Like, I have to have the money thing happen so I can do the floor and fix the porch. Now I've got all of this stuff with Stella's health, and I called to get the car checked. So I'm going to go in the morning, and he's going to look and put it on the little monitor thing or whatever and see if there's any codes or if there's any problems. So, and I called the vet again, told him she is having difficulty chewing. She still doesn't want to eat. She's still listing. This whole face is still sagging on one side. And who knows, they'll just, their solution is come in and do tests, and then the tests, they'll give meds, and that's the whole system. Test med. And I just got a message. They're saying that my brother can go home today. And my other brother messaged and said, don't be bothering his daughter today asking for updates because she's sick. And he's doing better. He's got improvements every day, but he's having problems with his memory. I can't really wrap my head around that they all think like you can just dig in and cut something out of someone's brain and it'll just go back to normal. Like, it kind of is weird. But I guess if they all feel so desperate that that's the only way to save him is to do it, then they don't think about that part. They just think about like surviving. But, and I kept telling them, go try the med beds first. I would definitely go try the med beds before someone dug into my brain. There's no way. I don't even want to take pills. I don't want to take Tylenol. I don't want to take anything. I even have that plant medicine that I had made for her. Now it even freaks me out. Like, could that be something that interfered with, did that give her a stroke? Like, I just don't know. Did I give her too much meds? I think it's the fumigating. I think that it's neurologically causing people issues. I think it depends on your DNA and stuff. I saw a guy today, and he was in Texas, and he was doing a video, and he was saying, anybody who grew up out here in Texas knows, about the bug situation. And he lives rural, so he lives out by forests. And he said when, the lights come on, like the porch light and stuff, no bugs come, nothing. He said it's the weirdest thing. He has never had anything like it. He has a bug zapper he set out back for when they're sitting outside because the bugs are so intense. He said he usually has to dump it every couple days or at least once a week, and he hasn't dumped it in 3 weeks. And he said this is just weird, like, pay attention because there's no bugs. And that's what I kept seeing around here. Like, I've seen a couple of spiders now, but compared to what it's supposed to be, and the spiders I've seen are acting weird, like running up and staring at you instead of running and hiding. It's like weird. And so there's just weird stuff, every time I go outside, which today I'm going to sit outside. It's supposed to be sunny all this week. So I was like, And this is leading up to my big old birthday week. It's so crazy too, because I just thought, having my 60th, like this big, impactful, significant birthday, and just doing it by myself and just being like, what does it all mean? What does it all matter? And then it's coming to another one. And it's just weird because, I don't know, I don't think very many of us have spent very many birthdays alone. And it really is weird because it really gets you to think about things and to, I don't know, kind of soul searching kind of stuff. So I don't know, but now I'm about to have another one. It's just weird. So, and I'm so focused on, just getting to the med beds and getting the money for that, and trying to make sure I take care of her until we get there. She went poop this morning, but she didn't go pee. But, at least stuff is moving through her, so that makes me feel good. And she seemed really hungry, and I tried to give her food, but she just gets grossed out. My daughter told me to get back to the pharmacist, or back to the vet, and get some more of the anti-nausea medicine. So I put in a call to see. I'm going to try and just do some of her pills, I guess, and see, because she's got the omeprazole or whatever, for your acid in your stomach. She's got blood thinner and antibiotic. I didn't give her anything yesterday because the day before when I tried to give it to her, she gets so grossed out. She runs and she hides. Well, as fast as she can run. She gets up and, it's an ordeal. It's like, some of the times it's like trying to watch a fish out of water move around. But, she tries to get up and moves, and I hate to stress her out like that. And then she just starts drooling this thick, just all of it just starts pouring out the sides. So, I don't know. I'm just, God, I'm so burnt out. I'm so burnt out on this stuff. I tried to look up about my house payment yesterday to see if mine's zero, which I'm really hoping this week stuff starts going to zero for everybody. I don't know how this is all going to go down. I wish it would just hurry up. I can't believe how many leaders are. I guess the Sri Lanka one, they chased him off, made him resign, and then they went and burned his house down in the city. That may have been, I saw a huge, I guess you would call it a protest, but it looked like every single person in the city was in the streets. And it didn't look like what I imagined Sri Lanka to look like, but there's a lot of these places where the people are going against the government. And, we got to do that in America, where the people have got to see, like, no more of this bullshit, no more of fighting between two parties. Like, I just can't even believe, like, at this point, there's still people who believe that it's one party or the other. It's like so mental. It's like, oh my God, what goes on in people's minds? Do they just keep themselves cut off? Do they just have repetitive thoughts to keep them focused on the same thing over and over? Why is it they can't see broader pictures of what they're looking at? Why can't they see in more depth? It's very odd. And I don't know. This whole thing is weird, the way any of it has been playing out. Like, even though I knew all of this stuff was going to be happening and it was going to get really bad, and I still think it's going to get worse. I don't think it's going to just, I hope that it would just switch, and that'd be it. But I still think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to transition out of here. Especially these people who are just so lost. It's like their soul is here for the ascension. Like, no matter what, every soul is going to expand, is going to grow and learn from this experience. I saw this thing yesterday too, where this lady explained, and this is what I've been saying about reincarnation. But so she was saying back in the and I don't know if it was the last golden age or what, but it was during Atlantean and Lemurian time, and people were so highly sophisticated spiritually that there wasn't enough expansion, that they were so connected that they had to be, those civilizations had to go because it wasn't enough with the growth. Because I've said this whole time, it's about the journey. It's about the path. It's about the learning. Every soul comes into these experiences over and over and over, every different experience, playing every different role so that it can learn and expand from the experience, because it gives us enlightenment, it gives us acceptance, it gives us understanding of things when we go through and we experience them. Because if you don't experience it, you can try and have empathy. You can think about like, well, I knew somebody who went through that, and yeah, that was hard. I remember when they went through it. That was really hard on them. But it's very different when you go through it yourself, because then you learn to a depth in your soul of what it all is about and why you do the things you do and how you are provoked into doing certain things and stuff like that. So every life experience is so you can expand yourself by learning and growing. And that is what this has all been about for so long, is just these reincarnation experiences, these opportunities to come in and play a part and understand yourself more expansively. But this time that we're in right now is just this transition into a new age. That is why we are having to look at it in a more broader perspective of understanding, like, oh, I come in here to learn, but now I'm going to put everything I'm going to challenge myself. What have I learned? What is inside my soul? Can I accept others? Can I love myself? Can I do the work to get myself where I want to be? And then, can I understand my own energy? Can I understand this reality? So it's all of this new gain in perspective that we're having just because it's just this transition. Because normally when you're just coming in to reincarnate and play the roles, you don't have to have this deeper understanding. And this deeper understanding is what the Atlanteans and Lemurians just jumped right into. And so they were skipping all the parts of learning. They were just connecting, but that defeated the purpose of life, because the purpose of life is to learn. So it was just kind of like being born, but then just being connected automatically to source. And so your life experience is much different. Like I said, when you start connecting to your higher self, you begin to have an observer perspective. You don't get so caught up, although I am very caught up right now. Like in what I'm going through with Stella, I'm emotionally drained. And all of the things that are going on, I'm definitely emotionally drained by what's happening here on the planet. And not only just in my own experience, but energetically on the planet, it is happening. It's draining us. It's causing all of this chaos, because it's this giant change of the ages. Everything's changing. But see, when they were coming in and they weren't focused on living and life lessons, then all of that stuff was getting wiped away. So you could have elevated souls that didn't really understand. So if you get what I'm saying, like how the elevation works. So like for us, like people who go through this Earth school program, that they learn things that in other places they don't learn. So like a lot of planets or a lot of realities, you don't die. And that is one thing that is unique to this one, is this whole concept of death and loss. And it was all about this duality of being able to, it is about the dark and the light, but coming together and using both to create balance. And that is each person's individual challenge to do for themselves. But so when the people were skipping it, all of the learning and just going right back into being connected to source, creation, God, whatever you want to think of it, then they weren't really getting to learn all of the lessons. So it's all of that had to be wiped away. They had to do a reset and start over. And that is why, we go through the hard lessons, we go through the hard challenges. It's all so that we can expand our own consciousness through living and life lessons. So it's really important to really, go through the steps. Go through the steps of healing and go through the steps of understanding yourself. And there was another thing too. What was that one? It was, the Lemurian people, something about the reset thing. But anyways, all of this stuff that is happening now is so that people can awaken. So it was like the Lemurians and the people back then that I was just talking about. They already were enlightened. They already were awakened. But now we are having to go through the process of awakening. Oh yeah, it was I've seen other people now referring to this containment that we're in as a snow globe, and that there is other land masses outside of it, and that's why they keep us controlled in this little habitat, because they don't want us to have freedom to be able to move out and go live where we want to live, which it would only be our vibration that would keep us bound to wherever we are able to move. Maybe that is part of how this is going to go down, is because those of us who raise our vibration, do our healing, that we would be able to move through realities differently than people who are stuck or locked into their vibration because they're not expanding the way they look at things. They're not opening their mind. They're keeping it closed and controlled. And the only ones who are controlling your mind are the ones who are trying to keep you heavy in the darkness, That is what your soul has to go in and see in its own self. Like, this is really dark. This is some dark energy. And, there's one thing too, I did see, I saw a Nerdy White Guy today responding to somebody, because they were saying, something about smoking weed. I don't remember. And Nerdy White Guy came on and he was talking about, because it was a stitch. And he was saying that, he had quit a couple times to show himself that he could. But, it's natural. It's a plant. So anything that is natural or a plant is here for us. So he was saying, that he thinks it's all perfectly fine to smoke, and a lot of us who smoke, we know, like, it connects you more to the other side. You can hear them, they talk to you and stuff. So he was saying the same thing about, there's a lot of spiritual people out there who are misleading people, who are telling them, they're just taking them down the wrong path. And that's what I keep saying over and over. There's people who are being misled, but you have to, inside yourself, something has to turn on so that you can see that you are being guided by somebody, and people just turn over their own like sovereignty, their own, to trust somebody else's guidance instead of your own. I saw this one woman, I'll share it because this is what her guides were telling her. And I don't know, I only know what my guides tell me. And my guides tell me a lot of stuff that is my personal stuff too. Like, show me things and tell me to get ready for this and that and stuff like that. But so she was saying that hers were telling her that when the CERN came on, that they were opening a portal, they were letting in a certain energy, and that energy is 3 fallen angels, and the 3 fallen angels they are spreading their energy into like millions of people to bring their dark energy into millions of people. And they're going after little babies and stuff like that. Like, I don't know every single thing. Like, I hear a lot of stuff that to me isn't in alignment with what I think. And I think that, and I've said a bunch of times, when you have beings that are talking to you, you have to use your discernment. You have to recognize, like, what is the energy they're bringing? Are they telling me to be mean to somebody? Are they telling me to be vengeful or revenge or bitter or angry or any of that stuff? Because any of those things, and they're sneaky, they can make you think that it is, your idea and it's very important and you're taking care of yourself. But, just think of the teachings of Jesus, who was the counterpart to that energy, and it was always turn the other cheek. I think this is crooked. Turn the other cheek. So that's what I think is, is about forgiveness and stuff. Because if you carry anger and resentment inside you, it eats at your soul. Doesn't have anything to do with the other people. That eats at your own soul. So it corrodes you. So you don't want to be listening to those spirits or entities that are telling you to seek revenge and, fuck them. They shouldn't have done that. And they have a really sneaky way of feeding your ego and getting you to look at things in a certain way. But you have to recognize and acknowledge that direction that it's taking you in. You have to look at your own self and see, like, oh, that's kind of dark. Like, why would I want to do something that's going to be mean to somebody? Especially during this time where people are struggling and going through so much. Like, why would you want to add on to that and cause them more pain or suffering, So that's what you got to really think about with these darker entities, of how they are leading you. And people just don't realize that there's people talking in their heads all the time. They really think it's their thoughts, and it's not your thoughts. This whole thing is a processor. And there's a whole thing just with your eyes. These eyes that you see this reality is to go in and process the information, process your experience. But then I saw a guy the other day, and he was talking about the third eye, and he was trying to explain it to people who didn't understand it. And he goes, it's what the eye is that you see when you dream and when you are thinking about things. That's the one inside your eye. That is also a processor. And that is all a part of the system. And I mean, people have to realize that we're really in a system. And it is really like how they came up with computers and stuff like that is kind of based on our own system. Like, it's our own system, and then they're trying to recreate how we work, because we're a processor, and we are a projection, and we're projecting how we feel on other people so that it can bounce back, so we can understand. The whole problem is that we have, for so long, when it bounced out, that we blamed the other person. It was their fault we felt this way. It was their fault we felt this way. We didn't understand that it was us projecting our feelings out so that we could see them, so that we could have them come back, so we could heal them. But that is how things are changing. That is how we're beginning to be able to adapt to what's happening and be able to understand, so that we can process, so that we can heal. Because nothing going on in anyone's life is anything to do with anybody else. It just feels like it does. It feels like these other people are hurting us, but it's our own projection of self that is trying to understand itself. And so, anyways, all of this stuff all has to do with your soul and why your soul is here. And all of these souls that are here for this ascension, they're here to I've gone through all of these life cycles. I've expanded. How far can I get with this? Like, can I do my healing? What all do I need to heal? How do I need to get myself in a space where I can accept others? That is so vital, to be able to accept others and to accept yourself, to be able to love others and love yourself. Because when you can do accepting, then you can understand, like, everybody's just learning. We're all just learning. There's no reason to be hard on anybody or hard on yourself. And then once people can really start understanding that the people who have hurt them the most, it was all about the lessons. It was all about the challenges, so that you could grow from the experience. Because we are at this time now where everything is being put in. This is like the test of life. Did you accomplish what you came here to accomplish? Can you grow from everything that you have learned? Can you expand yourself, and understand more about your energy and your consciousness? And, it's going to just go from there. But, it just seems like a lot of these people, maybe they didn't come for the whole thing. They just came so that they could, have a chance to learn some more or something. I'm not sure, because I don't understand how people are just so locked in to the false experience, to the mind trap world. Like, I don't know. I sent my daughter, like, everything that I talked about with her yesterday after she left and I was on TikTok. I saw one after another of TikToks talking about what we were talking about. So I sent her a bunch, but I'm sure she won't watch them. My one daughter, my oldest daughter, though, she sent me a song this morning that was really, really funny. And she goes, this song reminded me of you. I was like, oh yeah, this is my new theme song. It is, it's hilarious. I'd have to look it up and see. I'll post, or I'll share a link in the thing. It sounds like it's like Cappy or something. Like, I don't know if he had a band or what, but it definitely sounds like Cappy singing. And maybe this band took parts of what he said and put it into a song. It's really funny. So I'll share the link. And she said that their whole album's funny, but I haven't listened to it. Kind of, it's not the Dead Kennedys, but it's something like that. They seem kind of like punk rock or something. But anyways, I will share it, and anybody who wants to listen to it, it's funny. But, I made me feel glad that, she got to hear that song and she could recognize, because the stuff he says in the song is significant, So, she's listening, and she's going to keep hearing more and more and more, because you can't get away from it. Once the seeds are planted and once the questions are asked, the information will keep coming and coming and coming. And it's people's their own guard that doesn't want to let the information in, because that crumbles their concept of reality. And even when the one daughter that was here is talking about this, she understands that this is all crumbling and stuff, but still keeps holding on to all of these different aspects of this world, not understanding really there's an agenda, and it's so deep, especially for the people who are progressive, because the progress they don't realize the progress was just a game. It wasn't real. That our progress is in a completely different direction than what they're trying to lead people. Because progress is not giving up your ability to procreate and causing you to be dependent on pharmaceuticals for the rest of your life. That's not progress, and it is just, they just don't see the whole thing. There's like things missing. Like, you gotta think, like, how is that progress? Like, the pharmaceutical company is just locking in their future, and they can charge whatever they want. And these people who think like insurance pays for everything, no, it does not. It does not. And insurance is part of the scam. Insurance can go away just like, them trying to take away our homes, trying to take away our cars, trying to take away everything. And I know one thing for sure. I will fucking use my legs, or I will get a horse in a buggy. I won't. I'm not getting an electric car. If they want to take away all of our gas and stuff like that, and they're trying to kill all the animals, I'll just walk until things settle down. And there's got to be communities that are building up around in all different places. Not everybody is staying in the city. A lot of people have inner guidance that is moving them in a direction that they need to go. In that video that I saw with all those people out there, you know, enjoying their lives and having a good time, and there is more and more of that happening. More and more people seeing, like, the whole point is to get away from the control, away from the enslavement, you know, the debt, all of it. It was all just to trap us. And then they're just even beyond that, to just keep us stressed out so that we're feeding other beings that are around us. I keep hearing people now talk about that. I'm telling you, everything that I have said since I started this channel, I have heard other people talking about it now. I don't think there's anything that I have said that I have not heard someone else say the same thing at this point. So, you know, I know that the stuff that I have been saying is right. I know that, you know, my guidance is giving me information, and they do want me to share it. And I know the reason they want me to share it is because my main thing is for everybody's got to do their healing. It's super, super important. It's important to question your reality. It's important to understand who's making you sick, how they're making you sick. And it's your responsibility to care for your own avatar and to tune into it. You know, just as it's, you know, you tune into Stella and her sickness. Well, you got to tune into your own too. You got to tune into your own, what's going on in your own avatar. So those things are all super important. But the biggest thing to me is this healing, doing the healing because of the changing of the ages. And there is no, unless it is, like I said a second ago, unless there is something about that there will be like a pocket of low vibration area where people can still be working on themselves. And but it's, our vibration is raised by our healing and our acceptance of others and loving ourselves and not putting your emotional needs on other people. That is how you elevate. You raise your vibration by doing all of those things. And they happen naturally when you're working on yourself and you are tuned in to your higher self, which is giving you the information. And when information comes in, that you take it on as your own. You don't blame it on anyone else. You take it on as your own. Why do I feel this way? What is causing me to see this? Why am I feeling like this? Like, it all goes back to trying to go through the layers to get to the core of what it is that's causing you to feel a certain way. Why can't you forgive this situation, you know, like abuse or whatever, you know? And yesterday, or one of the days while my daughter was here, she was talking about something, and she was saying something, I can't remember. We were talking about a lot of stuff, but I said, right there though, that is what you have to see, your part. You play a part. Every single situation that happens in your life, you play a part. The things happen because you're allowing them to happen. And you're allowing them to happen because you're trying to understand and grow from the situation. But people are just misdirected. So it is, oh, so my brother's on his way home. So that's good. I mean, as soon as they did the blood patch on me, I left the hospital way before I had fluid back in my brain. They just said, go take care of yourself now. And they gave me the strongest pills. But at the time, one of my daughters was an addict and she stole all my medicine. So I was, I was on my own. I was doing it and confused and trying to get back into being able to, I couldn't even figure out how to do my bills. And every time I was stepped down, my brain was hit into the bone. I could feel it. It was horrible. So, they don't send you home just because you're doing well. I mean, Stella is, she's struggling. So I would assume my brother's still going to be having some issues. I don't know what all his issues, or if he will end up having deficits. Supposedly, it takes 2 years for everything. They told me whatever wasn't healed in 2 years, that it wouldn't heal. That it does all its healing in 2 years. So whatever deficit you're left with after that, that's when new pathways have to develop in your mind. Which to me, recently, I've been able to remember phone numbers. Like I can do the vet's phone number, 360-966-3207. I haven't been able to do that in so freaking long. It's crazy. I think I could remember more phone numbers. So I know I'm healing just by focusing on healing. And I know these med beds are going to be super impactful. That lady again texted me over the weekend and said that she's going to go ahead and send those crystals today. These other ones, because she doesn't know what happened to my amethyst one, so now she's sending me a bunch of pink quartz ones, which is fine. I know crystal's a crystal as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a crystal expert, for people who are out there who are crystal experts, that's good, but it's not my expertise, that's for sure. And so she said, though, well, don't be surprised if you get the other ones before these. It's like, dude, you should be the one who knows where you sent them and when you sent them. This is so strange. You're telling me a couple weeks ago you sent them. Well, it's only from Arizona to Washington State. It would be here in 4 or 5 days, not 2 weeks. And unless she sent it by horseback, I don't know. And then to me, it was her responsibility. I did what she asked me. I sent the crystals. I sent the money for postage. Then what she did with it, I don't know. And, so I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get extra ones. I'll just return her package back to her. If I get my ones before that, I'll just put return to sender and send it back. But I ordered a whole bunch of other crystals, and I got cord and stuff, and I'm going to make a bunch of those necklaces and take them into the med beds with me. But I feel like, so this week, I got to get through this week and, try and keep her doing better. And then next week, I will be really focused on leaving, because I want to leave by Thursday. So I won't be like doing these kind, maybe if I'm sitting outside, but I'm going to be pretty messy too. And it's going to be, I don't know, because I'm going homeless on this. So I'm really going to go with I got wipes to clean myself, and, but, won't be able to go put on any mascara or anything like that. So it's going to be roughing it for sure. So, but I do want to monitor or document the adventure that we're going to be doing. So, but I'm not going to probably sit and, talk about stuff like this. I'm just going to kind of document the going, what I'm seeing, what it's like, the challenges, and then how she's doing, because I definitely want to keep track of how she's doing and how I'm doing. And I would say, with my eyes, it's I kind of even thought it improved a little bit. Like, like I feel like there is some stuff that is improving with my own health. So, we'll see. I feel really good about coming when I get out of the med beds. I feel really good about that. I feel like I'm going to be able to think clearer and stay more on, on topic, or, won't be so all over the place maybe. And my eyes will be hugely improved. And other probably just little things. It's not going to dissolve my implants probably, or take any of the ink out of my skin, because that's what the military grade ones do. They are very more sophisticated. Like if you can grow back a limb, and it does do something, because the one in that one interview, she said there was a doctor and he's like 80 or 80 something, and he has a set up in his house. He's got a 24 unit set up in his house, and he might even have 24 units. And he has people come in him and stuff. He may even sell time in them. I'm not sure if he just asks people to sit in them or whatever. But anyways, his hair used to be silver, and now it went back to the other color. And then also that one woman said that her hair stopped being silver. So, I mean, my hair can come out different. And it's weird too, because I think because of the silver, it makes my hair seem darker, because my hair is not dark. My hair is dirty blonde. So I don't know. I'm curious to see like what it's going to, all of the things. I'm just excited because I think 12 hours is really, that's huge. That's a lot of time in this high frequency room. So I feel super optimistic about the whole thing. I just want to get there. And I feel like all of these, that's where I feel like the interference of the entities that want to keep us down and depressed and sick. That's where I feel like the interference, like your car messes up. Last night, it was so weird. There was so much, I don't even know, walking around in my house, little things scooting across the floor, noises in the kitchen. It was just like, oh my God, what in the hell? Like, I am so ready to, like, sometimes I feel like I could just peek out of this realm and see, what is around me, because I feel like it's a lot. I saw this guy trying to teach people on TikTok how to do astral projection, and I can't remember what all he was saying, like drink some water, put the intention in the water, then that will set it from negative to positive, and you have to have the negative in the all this stuff that he was saying. And he was saying, and when you first come out, just plan on coming out, look around the room, look at your body, and go right back in. Because he said you have to practice before you just start going. Because he said if you just go out and you're out a long time doing stuff, your body will become unconscious. And when you go back in, you won't remember what you did. And he said if you want to remember being out, you have to do little short things to do it. And I know when I came out, it wasn't on purpose. And it probably was because my body was just so drugged from the weed brownies or something. My body couldn't get up. But my soul got up and got out. And, I did go out. And I did see the other realm. And I don't know. I feel like the other realm that is around me has got a lot of traffic or something. Because it is weird. Like, and it's like they're always just walking around watching me and stuff. So, I don't know. I'm anxious to start moving into the new way of being. I'm anxious to start seeing things more clearly, and for the truth to just come out. Like, and the truth is so much different about this world. People think that the truth is just like, oh, there's aliens and stuff. No, there's so much stuff about this world that is going to be coming out. This world is nothing like what people think. So, anyways, today is supposed to be sunny all this week. I'm just going to try and get Stella to sit outside and rest, and I'm going to just kind of lay out, try and get a suntan and stay positive, and then, by this weekend, really start getting it together to go on my trip. because that is my main focus. I wish that was going this weekend. You know, I told the lady if there's a cancellation to let me know, I'll come. This would be the last weekend of cancellation. So I get the next weekend. So anyways, hopefully everybody else is doing okay. You know, there's so much going on. There's so much happening, and it's affecting all different people in all different places. And I've seen more stuff now with this weird sky stuff. And I guess there is another thing that's like CERN, another collider, and it's in North Dakota or South Dakota. Might be South Dakota. And they're trying to something with the black matter. It's the same stuff, the same freaking science bullshit stuff. There's something with that. And then they said that there's an article out that they had an interaction with dark matter or something. And then that same day that they said that, the sky in South Dakota turned the dark green. So that's where the dark green sky is in North or South Dakota. And then I've seen Florida has got this bright orange one. I've seen these bright red ones. I've seen so many weird sky things, man. You can just hashtag sky stuff. It's crazy, the pictures that people are sharing now. And I have heard from other people who haven't been seeing any of the fumigation happening over them lately. And I haven't noticed it here, but there's still so many chemicals up there. And so I don't know, but they can also do it at night while we're sleeping. But, you know, I don't know. The sky still looks weird. Like today it's going to be, like you can see it's blue and clear. But I don't know. I just still, the big things that I watch for is the banking stuff. And because all of the stuff, just all the information keeps coming out more and more and more. But it's still only a certain group of people who see it. And it's other people who have to start seeing the information. So it's going to have to be big. It's going to have to be very much like and everybody looks, you know, a loud clap. Something's going to draw attention. And, you know, I don't know. But to me, definitely the banking stuff, seeing the banks go down. It's weird too. Like when I just went to town the other day, we went and we drove past this one school, and they tore down the school. They were in the process of tearing down this school to rebuild another one. It's like, dude. Okay, so we got people starving in the streets, but we need this school torn down and we need another one built right away. This stuff is just, it's ridiculous. And I don't know what's gonna, like when I was at the hospital, that was last year. And I said I was there for, I was waiting for somebody because I was in the car. So I took somebody in there and they were getting something done. I can't remember the whole thing, but I was outside and I was filming different things that were happening, and they were building on. It's like they're going down. I mean, it's just a waste of money building schools and hospitals and stuff like that. That is not the future. And that just shows they don't give a shit about people, you know. They give a shit about their buildings, and they don't give a shit about the people. And I don't know. I can just go on and on, just whining and whining about the bullshit that goes on. But anyways, for me, it's watching the banks going down. That's a significant thing to show us, you know, we're moving faster in a certain direction. You know, well, hopefully this week something will come out about, I don't understand how on the 5th, the Supreme Court said that he isn't really, that they aren't going to okay him being the pres. So I don't get, like, how this stuff keeps going. I don't get how, you know, there's no money in the Federal Reserve, but they can keep this going. I mean, this is just, it's madness. It is so much as the chicken is already beheaded, still running through the freaking fields. Like, this is insanity. I'm just going to be really hopeful that this week is, is something impactful, something that's going to change our direction and move us going into a better direction. And I know I'm always saying that, and sometimes I feel like, that it's going to be really horrible. Whatever's going to happen is going to be really hard and horrible, and I'm going to be sitting there going like, oh, I can't believe you just wished for it to come sooner. Like, but we just can't keep going day in and day out like this, and knowing that these beings that are just sucking our energy out of us because of how everybody is just stressed out and defeated feeling, and just everybody is just worn out. Like, like a long time ago when I said, by the time this war's over, it reminds me of that poster that was popular when I was a kid. It has these 3 guys marching back, and they're just tattered, all tore up Band-Aids. That's what I feel like. We're all just war torn at this point. Everything is just, everybody's worn out. And so things have got to start moving in another direction. Like, I don't know. So anyways, I will talk to you. I'll be back tomorrow. Unless something big happens and I've got to talk about it, I'll be back later today. But I'll just be back tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.